And welcome to all the parents, families, faculty, and friends who have come to support us today. Now, if you will please all take out your pens and paper, we will begin diagramming that sentence. Today, as you all know, is our 8th grade graduation. But what does this mean in the grand scheme of things? In our lives, up to this point, it is a momentous and landmark occasion. The technical definition of graduate is to successfully complete an academic degree or course of training. But as you all know, here at the lab schools, we don't like to listen to and abide by the general consensus. This graduation is a paradox. It is both an ending and a beginning. It is an ending, but not the happily ever after kind. It is a symbolic and literal ending to a period in our lives which took place here. Yet, it also represents the beginning of a new chapter in our lives. After today, we will no longer be middle school students, and we will, for the next 4 years of our lives, be high school students. The University of Chicago Laboratory Schools is a truly unique and special place. This was especially noticeable last year because it was probably one of the few schools in the country where the administration had to actually enforce a rule to make students leave school when school was over. I think this truly and perfectly speaks to how wonderful of an experience our middle school life has been. We began our journey almost 4 years ago back in the 5th grade. It's funny to think back to how young we were and how special we, or at least I, felt being able to say that I was a middle schooler even though I was only in the 5th grade. Of course, back then we couldn't go to the cafeteria or actually do any of the things that real middle schoolers could do. But what was so special about it was the first time that we as a grade were ever closely situated together in a confined space for an extended period of time. Here at Lab, we are a community. 5th grade was the first time together, first time that we came together, not only as a community, but also as the start of a family. The next year was when we officially joined the middle school community as little timid and frightened 6th graders. We were trying our best not to rub any of the big older kids the wrong way or upset any of the scary middle school teachers, who would later become some of the most important, valued, and trusted people in our lives. We became closer when we went off to 6th grade camp, where, if my memory serves me right, it rained. 6th grade camp was such an important time for us because we had to learn to be friendly with our friends for longer than a 7-hour school day or for a night or two. This brought us together as a community, and we were a very functional community for about 3 or 4 days until it came time for us to play the game when we had to hunt each other down to survive. All in the name of good fun, of course. 7th grade eventually came around, and we felt a little bit more comfortable in middle school. Sometimes we got a little too comfortable and got a little rowdy. Some days, our lunches were almost like a farm, an animal farm. For some of us, lunch became a delicate subject that could easily be lost once we started the pig dissection. Eventually, we went off to 7th grade camp, where, if my memory serves me right, it also rained. An experience that was either dreaded or embraced, but one that definitely changed us all. I know a part of me was left at 7th grade camp. Of course, that's not counting all the blood that was sucked out by the mosquitoes. I know that all the members of my group became very good friends during camp and really embraced the philosophy, together we are strong. Finally, 8th grade came around, and we became the big kids that we were scared of when we were in 6th grade. Then came the dreaded Constitution test, the test that determined whether or not you passed 8th grade. The biggest test of our lives so far. This really brought us together. We were a bunch of Davids trying to take on the giant Goliath. We studied whenever we could and together as groups. This wasn't always a good thing. I mean, you could ask a simple question like, what is the term of a senator, and get 6 or 7 different answers. Of course, the Constitution test was difficult, but we survived, and it didn't break us, because we are warriors, and as I'm sure you all know, warriors don't cry. Then it came time for the rite of passage to high school, the Washington, D.C. trip, where, and I'm pretty sure my memory is serving me right this time, it also rained. I think I'm starting to see a pattern now. That trip was probably the best week of my middle school life, but it would not have been that had it not been for the amazing teachers and friends that I shared it with. This is true of every experience, in not only school, but life as a whole. While these big experiences brought us together as a community and as a family, it was the little things that made these big moments possible. Sharing a laugh with our friends during lunch or class, studying together after school at the B school, all the grams that were Insta, all the snaps that were chatted, all the calls that were made, and of course, all the texts and emails that were sent, all of the homework assignments we did, all the tests that we took, all the papers and projects that were procrastinated. We did it all together, and it brought us together. While we have always been separated into different advisories, into algebra and geometry, into Garner, Miller, and Urist humanities classes, into Chinese, German, French, or Spanish speaking classes, into band, choir, general music, and orchestra, we have also always managed to stay together as a family, the class of 2018. Next year, we will be saying goodbye to the norms we've known for the last 4 years. We will be joining an entirely new community with new students and teachers. While this may seem like a very scary prospect, I know that we will be able to do it, and we will thrive. I understand that there are people who will not be joining us next year in goodbye, and who will be matriculating to other high schools. We will miss you all very dearly. You have all brought something unique and special to our community, and it will not be the same without you. However, I know we wish you the best of luck with all future academic ventures, although you are lappies and you don't need any luck academically. However, no matter how academically proficient we are, we could not have made this journey alone. We could not have made it this far without the constant help from our amazing teachers and our caring parents, who were always there for us, especially when things got rough. So I know I speak for all of us when I would like to sincerely thank all of my family members and teachers, without whom there's not a doubt in my mind I would not be here today. I would also like to thank my mother, who is easily the most caring and strong woman I know, and who has done more for me than anyone else I know to help me along my academic journey. I love you, Mom. Today, the ceremony might seem as if it's happening all too fast, or it might seem as if it's never going to end. But we will remember it for the rest of our lives, and that's what really counts. The grades that we got on tests and homework will slowly fade into oblivion, but the memories that we made together are what we're going to take with us our whole lives. Thank you.